This practice of extracting the sap from palm trees has survived in this area for many centuries. Every day at sunset, after sharpening the old chisel he inherited from his father-in-law, Manuel places the buckets in the tops of the palm trees. Just below the outlet, he has already prepared for the guarapo, and then climbs each of them to cure them. All of those up to there. Curing, or cleaning, consists of removing a layer called palmito. As Manuel says, as thin as the edge of a peseta, so that the sap of the tree called guarapo comes out. This work should be done in the cool of the evening, so that the liquid is emanating throughout the night and can be collected the next morning before the heat spoils it. When Manuel finishes curing a palm tree, he covers it with leaves to protect it. Drop by drop, the sap, or guarapo, of vegetable flavor and excellent digestive properties, will be collected in a bucket. I put the stone on it because otherwise the mouse will eat the bud. To avoid having to go up and down to each of the palm trees, Manuel has joined with branches those that have their tops closest to each other, so that it can pass from one to the other over them. The risk is always present, and many guaraperos have died or suffered serious injuries when falling from the top of a palm tree. If you don't go to the company. The work of curing the palm tree involves removing the thin layer that has dried in the heat of the day and prevents the guarapo from coming out. Despite the wound made in the tree, the bud begins to come out, and Manuel respects it to let it rest between 5 and 7 years. Now, the bud is not healed. It is healed all around it. By nightfall, the guarapero has cured all the palm trees, and now all that remains is to let nature work and let the rich sap drip all night long. February through June is the best time for harvesting guarapo, and the quantity and quality will depend on favorable rainfall. Without cleaning one bud, there are many that do not last, but 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. The least they usually last is 7, 8, 9 months. Do you understand? Depending on the head that it has, depending on the rain that comes, because now there is a drought, there is no water to irrigate there, and it has to be left. You can say that between 1 more month to cure it and leave it. Do you understand? Because if you keep curing it, you kill it. Don't you see that there is no moisture to suck from? Because water is its food to be able to grow the bud and produce it. Before the sun rises, Manuel checks all the palm trees he has in production to collect the guarapo that is oozed during the night. The humidity itself, or an untimely storm, sometimes increases the volume of production without affecting its quality. When the guarapo is boiled, the water will evaporate. However, on some occasions, excessive rainfall has forced an entire night's production to be thrown away. Manuel knows that to take good care of the palm trees and obtain an optimum yield, it is preferable to extract a little guarapo daily, but of high quality. Now, if you are careful to take the production slowly, it is better to get 4 good liters than 8 watery ones. You will gain health for the palm, better honey, and less firewood expenses. All this happens. So you have to go slowly to get right there. The obtained guarapo is at its peak and can be consumed fresh or keep it refrigerated for up to 48 hours. When the ambient temperature rises, the fermentation process will begin, and the guarapo will become sour or picon, as palm honey produces in La Gomera say, and it will spoil. This is why Manuel must boil all the production obtained daily. In a small hut, located in the palm grove, Manuel has installed the boiler, in which he pours the guarapo, filtering it to remove all the solid matter and impurities that have fallen. This firewood is pine. Now, of course, there is no road to bring it in, but what you see in front of you is... They call that firewood broom. That firewood is the best thing for cooking. That has the power of a broom fire. With one of those broom trunks, it makes a fire there, and I believe that the embers last up to 3 days there. Fiery strong fire. When the fire begins to heat the guarapo, Manuel goes to the palm grove to do other works. Candelaria, his wife, will take care of the palm honey production process. The first job Candelaria must do is to defoam as soon as the guarapo begins to boil. Afterwards, all that remains is to wait patiently for the water to evaporate and the volume of liquid to be reduced to approximately 1/5. Everything from the palm tree is used, from the sap and fruit to the trunk and leaves. The latter are used as food for cattle and for making basketry tools. With surprising skill, as a result of many years of experience, our friend Manuel climbs barefoot up the rough trunks of the palm trees. With his knife tightly tied to a stick, he cuts the palm stalks and throws them at the foot of the tree. The skill that allows Manuel to move with ease along the trunk of the palm tree is the same skill that has served him throughout his life, to climb the coastal cliffs of Cubaba and steal the eggs of the birds that nested there. For him, climbing up and down the trunk of the palm trees is a simple exercise in which his main enemy is the wind. Manuel has not been able to cut all the fronds he wanted due to the strong bursts of wind. Nevertheless, he has obtained some palms, from which he will separate the pinnae located on both sides of the rachis or pyrus. Like any good Gomeran farmer, this guarapero knows how to take advantage of all the resources that nature has to offer. While Candelaria controls the cooking process, which usually lasts between 5 and 6 hours, she takes advantage of the time to braid the leaflets that her husband supplies her with. To make hats, bags, bread baskets, many things. For reasons of personal taste, Candelaria mixes the green fiber with the white fiber obtained from the new shoots of the palm tree. The white one is when the little palm is made for the guarapo. When the one inside the bud comes out white and the other green, it is taken from the outside. From the outside. Candelaria learned the secrets of basket weaving from her grandmother when she taught her how to make all the accessories needed for farming activities, such as baskets, hats, and mats. She warns, starts to lather, a little red foam comes out, up. Then the point is given, and that's it. When the guarapo has reduced its volume considerably, Candelaria tests with a ladle to verify with the naked eye by its density and its typical golden color that the palm honey is ready. From this point on, if it is overfired, the honey would be very sweet and stick to the bottom. The guarapo has become the exquisite palm honey that, after being filtered through a cloth, Candelaria collects in a pot to be bottled. Palm honey was the favorite food of the Gomeran Indians, who ate it with toasted flour and fern cakes. Today, despite the varied culinary possibilities, Manuel and Candelaria eat it with bread, fresh cheese, kneaded with toast flour and almonds, with curd cake, and even in nougat. As it has been hot these last few days, the honey has come out with an exquisite sweet spot because of the heat. The heat ferments the guarapo, and then the white honey comes out. Two families in La Gomera are currently dedicated to the cultivation of palm trees, but the selected demand for palm honey, both inside and outside the island, augurs a revitalization of this traditional process.